Welcome to Scroll Tag. In this tutorial video, we are going to introduce you to the most common features of the program to get you up and running quickly. After logging in by either selecting an existing user or by typing a new username, we see the main window of Scroll Tag. The text panel is at the center of the screen and is where all the action takes place. Currently, we are looking at the Hebrew text of Genesis 1, with the text flowing without breaks from line to line. We can instantly change the way the text is displayed through the display options. Each of the display options is available either through the menu, can be installed on the toolbar, can be accessed via the Lights panel, or its shortcut key. For example, we could turn on New Line mode by hitting the New Line toolbar button to have each verse begin on a new line. We can also have each verse be on a single line by enabling the One Line option. Notice that we now need to scroll horizontally to see all the text. Let's turn that off. We can insert verse numbers into the text, change the indentation and spacing, and turn on the different texts available to us. When multiple texts are displayed at once, New Line mode is enabled so that each text is in parallel for each verse. Let's turn on the New American Standard Bible and also our own translation. Each translation is colored differently so we can easily tell them apart. Notice that when our cursor goes over a Hebrew word, its parsing and definition appear in the word panel above the text. And if there is a note, it appears below in the note panel. Notice also that the New American Standard Bible has been tagged to the original languages, so when you place your cursor over one of its words, the corresponding Hebrew or Greek word and the short definition come up as well as any of the translator's notes. We can also turn on highlighting, which highlights every word on the screen with the same root in the original text. Notice it does this even if the English words are not the same. Next, let's turn off the NASB and turn on our notes, which are also displayed parallel to the text. There are a number of ways to navigate in Scroll Tag. We can drag the References panel to scroll up or down. We can also flick this panel by holding down our mouse button, dragging the panel quickly and releasing the button to make it travel quickly. We can press Page Up or Page Down to go up or down a page of text. We can press Control Page Up or Page Down to go up or down a chapter of text, or Shift Page Up or Page Down to go up or down a line of text. Each of these navigate the text instantly to where you are going. You can also use the scroll wheel on your mouse to go up or down a line. If you go to the command line, you can type the 3-letter abbreviation for the book, followed by optional chapter and verse numbers to go to different passages, or use the navigation button to do the same. Simple searches can be performed in Scroll Tag by either typing them into the command line or by selecting some text and then choosing the appropriate search from the menu. For example, we can type sacrifice and ox into the command line to find all the places where these two words occur in a single verse. Or we can type God created in double quotes to find all the places where this phrase occurs in the Bible. Or we can select an English word and click the root icon on the toolbar to find all the English words in the Bible that are tagged with this same root. Of course, we can also search on Greek and Hebrew words in the same way by selecting them and clicking the root icon. Lastly, we can also select a phrase and click the text icon to find all occurrences of a phrase. Please see the searching and filtering tutorial for more advanced searching features. There are 2 ways to add notes in Scroll Tag. The first is to add notes to a specific piece of text. The second is to add notes to a verse in general. When a note is added to a specific piece of text, it is tied to the particular Bible version you have tagged and will not be displayed in the main window unless that version is enabled. However, notes that are added to verses are enabled for all Bible versions. To add a note, simply select some text and hit either the Add Note to Text or Add Note to Verse toolbar button, menu item, or shortcut. If you hold Shift while adding a note, the note will default to a tag that is specific for the current book of the Bible that you are in. After choosing to add a note, the tag window comes up, which allows us to select an appropriate tag for our note, to format the text of our note, and to format what the note will look like in its own text. That is why there are two options for bold. There can be bold in the text of our note, and also the text of our note itself can be bold. Let's type in a note to see what it looks like on the main window. Let's format the text of our note with bold, some color, and add some Hebrew. And let's also make the note itself bold. Next, we click OK to add the note. Now that we have a note, we can edit it by selecting it and pressing the Edit Note button, menu option, or hotkey, or delete it by selecting it and selecting the Delete Note function. We can also edit and delete the notes that are in line with the text with the same methods, or edit them by double-clicking them. We can look at all of our notes arranged sequentially by going to the Notes window. By default, the Notes window displays all the notes for the current chapter we are in, but we can easily change what passage we want to display our notes for. Here, we can search for different notes based on the passage the note was taken on, what version the note was taken on, what tag was applied, what text is in the note, or what sermon number was applied to the note. Let's select a group of tags to look for. We can expand a tag to select all of its subtags by pressing Ctrl-A, and then highlight them by holding down Shift while pressing the navigation keys. When you're done selecting which criteria you would like to use to search for notes, hit the refresh button to find all the notes that meet those criteria. You can also check for cross-references in all of your notes by clicking on the cross-reference light. When this light is lit, you are no longer searching for notes that are on a certain passage, but for notes that reference that passage. For example, in this way we can find any notes that mention Genesis 1 through 3. We can also still search for additional criteria such as different note types, sermon numbers, or text in the notes while looking up cross-references. See the documentation for what format the references need to be in for scroll tag to use cross-references. Rather than arranging our notes sequentially by their order in the text, we can also click the Tags light to order our notes by their tags. Since we are able to display any of our notes orderly and sequentially, the Note window is ideal for printing or exporting our notes to take to a sermon or class. We trust this tutorial has been helpful in giving you an overview of scroll tag to get you up to speed quickly. Please also see our other tutorials on advanced tagging, marking, and diagramming, and also on advanced searches and filters to get the most out of scroll tag.